Lunes. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Money, money, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios todo lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos malos buenos y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. Yo vendo mi alma, seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Yeah. Money work. Corazón, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, de corazón. Yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Money work. Money work. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work.
All right, everybody. This is DJ Torch on the 1 and 2. If you can hear me good, put 1 in the chat. We're about to get this party started real good. I got a whole lot of stuff coming up. We got everything. We got everyone. We got all of them. We're going to go over. Welcome to the Katt Show.
And the pot calls the kettle black, calls the kettle burnt, calls her mad. Kettle reminds the pot that we've both been burned on the same stove, that the parts of our bodies that are layered in soot were scorched by the same hands. Kettle tells pot that she still boils water, holds the hot breath of a white man's tongue, endures the slow simmer of a white woman's allyship, and still, we make something beautiful. Pot calls the kettle wicked, and kettle says no, but says she's so magical she burned the hand of the last man who tried to pour himself a piece of her. Says she's so black she is everything, so black she is the beginning. She is the first thing someone finds home in when they wake up in the morning. Says ain't that what it means to be black? To have the world go up in flames around you and still be sanctuary for someone, saving men who lost themselves the night before, saving men who curse our names but forget his mama is made of steel too. And now the pot has no words but calls the kettle bitter, but loves the glass pan, the fine china, loves all the exotic shit white men put behind glass casings, loves how fragile things not made of steel can be. But this isn't about the pot or the pan. This is about the kettle, the Black woman, how she pours herself across the earth, but no one bats an eye when the water disappears. We give ourselves to men who never love us, but they say we are difficult, too hard to break. How we, the kettle, praise this pot, this man for all the water he holds. How we are the only ones who do not call him monster when the water boils over, because we know this heat, this white flame, hot enough to make any of us explode. We are the first ones to make noise when the world goes up in flames, but they say the earth was saved by the man who heard her scream. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says yes, but says you best remember you black too. The next time they bring a fire to your neck, they burn black bodies on the stake and the stove. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says bitch I might be, says nuck if you buck, then says wipe me down. Kettle says yes my nigga, I be black, I be mad, and I boiled the last man down to his bones when he tried to test me. Pot calls the kettle black, and kettle says hell yes. But don't say my name as if you ain't ever been burnt too.
All right, everybody, give Asia Bryant Wilkerson a big hand of applause. Let me pause it right there for a second. Okay, let me get all situated up here. Welcome, Conscious Mind Love, Feisty Black Tina, Mistress Newbie, the Enlightened Femme, all in that house. If you're in that house, go ahead and hit one in the chat. If you're up in the clouds, welcome to the show. We're about to get this party started. I am going to go cam on tonight. We're about to do this. We're about to do this. All right. Before we get into the Katt segment of tonight's show, we are going to go over Deobra Redden's situation. And it's very important that we do because, believe it or not, in some weird way, it's going to tie into all of this. So let me bring Deobra on the stage for us right here. Okay, so he's there. Okay. This is what I got to say about this. It's like that you will see what's going on, but to me, it's like it's clear. You see what's on the stage. You see how Deobra is looking in his new, as I heard somebody says, he looks like, was that the guy, not Lucifer, but I forgot his name, but basically they had to put him in a mask. And I'm going to tell you how he got there in a minute, but we're going to start it up right now. Here we go.
Mr. Almaci's here now.
Good
morning. All right, this is on for the continuation of Mr. Redden's sentencing. When we were last here, arguments were concluded and the court had begun to pronounce sentence when an incident occurred. An incident initiated by Mr. Redden, preventing the court from completing sentencing. That is the sole purpose for today's hearing. Any other issues that may arise from the events that occurred last Wednesday will be handled at a future date by a different court. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions.
That is, if you heard what she said, she basically said she's not changing. She's not changing anything. Now, what's funny is that judges have a lot of latitude. They can change things if they wanted to. Yeah, that's just, is that Judge Jumper? It is. Welcome, Atlas Uncovered. Yes, that is you. That is correct, Atlas Uncovered. That is the same judge, Mary K. Hothus. I believe that's how you say your name. Hannibal Lecter. Yeah, Hannibal Lecter is. well said. Well said. Red headphones. Hello, red headphones. We got a big show going on tonight, a huge show. I feel really energetic about tonight's show because I used to DJ a lot of comedy shows. And though I don't remember DJing a show directly with Katt, I do know that I've DJ'd comedy shows for comedians that actually work with Katt and that actually work with Kevin. It was such a shock. I went through some of their footage today and said, "Oh, that's this guy. Okay, I remember him, and I remember him." And so it's kind of like a cool thing for me because I get to kind of go back, way back to memory lane and check them out. And it's very interesting. Welcome, Natural Kish in the house. Natural Kish in the house. Yeah. Mistress, you nailed it. He acted like an animal, so he gets caged like one. And unfortunately, Mistress Newbie, that's bars, because that is the problem that we need to see. We need to understand that we hear this thing about justice reform and reform, but the thing is that there are people out there, there are men out there that are ruining that plight because they do stuff like Deobra did. They do stuff like he did. Natural Kish says he came prepared for a boxing, fencing at the courthouse. He sure did, I swear. So let me see if I have the breakdown right here. Not only do I have more footage of Deobra himself, we're going to give him a name, Deobra Redden, even though we just know him as the judge jumper, you know. We're going to give him a name. We're not just going to call him the judge jumper, but not only that, but his family members and the defense they have for him as well. I think it's extremely important, not just for the instance itself, but for what they say, for our community, what they say. And it's going to be very interesting. And I have a very concerned argument on that. So here we go.
Now, after court, Redden's sister and Redden's foster mother spoke to the media about his battle with mental health illness and how they claim that the system has failed him.
Okay, let me go back
now,
though.
After court, Redden's sister and Redden's foster mother spoke to the media about his battle with mental health illness and how they claim that the system has failed him. Let's watch.
Okay, I want to.
We're heading now to Las Vegas, where the man who assaulted a judge made another court appearance.
She didn't say Las Vegas the way you're supposed to say Las Vegas. It's supposed to be Las Vegas, like that. That's what you're supposed to do for Las Vegas. Anyway, sorry if I tinned out your ears, but here we go.
This morning, this time answering for that attack. You've seen the video. It went viral last week, showing Deobra Redden vaulting over the bench of Judge Mary Kay Holthus and then attacking her while she was sentencing him. It took several people to subdue the flying felon, and he's now facing 15 new
flying felon. Oh man. See,
charges. But before we bring in our guests, let's listen back to some of that hearing that got underway earlier today.
Let's uncover. That first reporter had so much facial injections, her face could have barely moved. Oh my. Okay. Let me put him full mask.
Mr. Redden? Yes, I am. Hello. Okay, I have a few housekeeping matters to handle before we handle his case. In anticipation of me appointing the public defender to represent him, there are multiple media requests. There were multiple orders that were signed in initial appearance court. I have amended several media orders to not allow live streaming because I do not allow live streaming. So to the extent initial appearance court allowed
I'm
live
going to fast
streaming,
forward.
Approach you may.
February 14th at 9 a.m.
The
Need to
court
go back.
sets release conditions.
Okay, I need to go back because I need to let the judge read off. Yeah, they increased security tremendously. I've never seen that many, security guards in that room at all, ever.
On a protected person, count 11, that's a gross misdemeanor bodily harm, victim 60 years of age or older. I don't think she knows mine. We're not connected on social media. I've never worked at the district attorney's office, where I believe she worked for her entire career. Her daughter is a deputy district attorney on my track. However, the team chief has assured me that Kennedy Holthus will not appear on any of Mr. Redden's appearances. Therefore, I see no reason to recuse. However, I make those disclosures under Rule 2.11 comment.
Okay, what she's doing is she's making sure that there's no reason that she would seem biased in his case. That's what she's doing right now. She's actually telling him and his defense lawyers, if he has some there, what relation she has to the existing judge that he attacked, because obviously that would be some grounds for bias. Let me keep it going.
Mr. Redden, have you been given a copy of the criminal complaint this morning?
Yes, I have been given one.
You're being charged with count 1, attempt murder, victim 60 years of age.
Attempted murder. Okay, and I should say attempted deletion. Let me keep it going. Here we go.
Or older, a felony. Count 2, battery on a protected person resulting in substantial bodily harm, victim 60 years of age or older, a felony. Count 3, extortion by threat, a felony. Count 4, intimidating a public officer, a felony. Count 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all battery on an officer, the same name victim. Oh, and by the way, I do not know any of the other victims named in the criminal complaint. Those are all felony offenses. Count 10, performance of act or neglect.
Yeah, that looked like, I'm in trouble here. This is what I'm talking about. This is effing around and finding out at its worst and best. This is effing around and finding out at its worst and best. Okay? I've seen those eyes before. Where it's like, now he doesn't have that little peering look in his eye. He has that oh, smack look in his eyes. Welcome, why is seeking knowledge? I'm telling you, this is not, I mean, the thing is this, he already has almost 2 years to serve already. Okay, and before you feel sorry for him, he was literally lighting up the neighborhood. And as best as I could say, I want to show you his past record. Let's get into it right here. Okay. Deborah Redden has a concerning history with law, particularly involving violent behavior. Now, let me make something clear. I am all for fighting for some brother or sister. Welcome, Phoenix Soul. Welcome, Why Seeking Knowledge. I am down for fighting for a brother or sister who was wrongfully accused or was given 10 years for smoking a doobie, or was given 10 years for like shoplifting, little shit like that. But violent behavior, I got a problem with. When somebody is expressing violent behavior in public or to people, whether it be a loved one or somebody they don't know, and it's clearly unjustified, I have a problem with them being on the street. Do I think they should go like to prison? No, quite honestly, I really believe we should start building asylums and not prisons. And then I swear, hiring every single qualified mental professional to work there who would like a job there. It would be a multi-trillion-dollar job that if we truly want to get rid of violent behavior we have to treat it. But at the same time, he has to be responsible as well. Okay? And he wasn't. I need to see, before you give this brother a break, I need to see his history of mental treatment he went through. Atlas Uncovered says this: these people need to be forced to get mental health meds. Bars. Can't the state mandate mental health care? Bars. In Cali, they seriously let these people run amok. And you were exactly right, Atlas, because, and the saddest part about it is that when they do that, they start damaging more people and causing more mental, it's like a mental virus. It's like a mental virus that's starting to spread. This man has damaged many women. Okay, let me keep going here. In April 2023, Redden made a disturbing threat stating he would bust the kneecaps from someone, okay? And obviously it's not like he was talking smack. It looks like he was literally going to do that. Anybody who's gonna jump a judge will jump anybody. They have enough sense to know that it's a judge that puts them where a judge has power over them and will put them wherever they need to go. This threat was prompted a judge to assess Redden's mental well-being the following month. Okay, cool. He's going to get help. Right? Leading to his placement in a state behavior facility. So he did go to the crazy house. That's a very nice saying for, I guess, an asylum. I guess maybe it's different. Who knows? It might have granular levels, but I think he was at the asylum level if there was one. Why Seeking Knowledge breaks it down like this: he effed around and found out they are unchained, have the nerve to be prideful of it, right? Then have the boo-boo, the fool face begging for their mama for canteen. Yep. I swear. Evening, welcome Gold Reflections. Phoenix Souls in the house. Go Glows in the house. We're going to keep this going. Okay. So he did go up for behavioral health. Despite spending time in the facility, I wish I knew how much, the judge deemed Redden mentally competent. Okay, I want to find out who that judge was. But the judge deemed him mentally competent. It didn't mean he was stable. It just meant he was mentally competent. So let's go back to his family background here. In 1993, Deborah Redden, age 30, was born in Nevada, okay? So he's been in the Vegas area all his life. Go Glow says this about Katt Williams, which is coming up very soon. Katt Williams reminds me of a jealous Negro that stands on the street complaining, why can't he get a job or can't get a job or beg for money? Well, we're going to get into that deep. We are going to get into that deep. Okay, so he grew up in Vegas, okay? Reports indicate Deborah displayed propensity for violence dating back to his high school years. Unfortunately, this aggressive tendency has now become a significant challenge for him, and they screwed up, and the community. Let me put that in. And the community. Okay, that's the problem right here. And the community. Presently, he is confronting potential years of imprisonment, due to the assault on Judge Mary Kay Holthus. Stay tuned to our platform and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so This is the deal. I would like to see when I went to the, let me check something out real quick. Just give me 1 second here. Okay, let me pause that. What's going on here? Okay. So, yeah, this will work. This will work right here. Let me play this short real quick.
So y'all want black men to go to therapy?
Let me pause it right there. Already we know what's going on, but let's see here. Let me bring it up because the volume is not where it needs to be. Let's listen to what he wants to say about it. Okay, here we go.
Therapy. Just to see therapists that need therapy themselves.
So y'all want people to go to the doctor just to see doctors that need doctors themselves?
So y'all want black men to be good fathers to children when they used to be children themselves? So y'all want black men to go to the barber just to see barbers that need barbers themselves? So y'all want black men to take showers when showers get dirty themselves? So y'all want black men to vote when politicians got to vote themselves? So y'all want black men to pay for dinner at restaurants just to eat food that people who ate at the restaurants got to pay to eat food also at the restaurants themselves? They be hungry?
So y'all want black men to go to therapy just to see therapists that need therapy themselves?
I like that one. That was funny to me. Let's see this
one.
Bro,
get away from that shit for a minute. One of my favorite lines in the album is where would say, you really need to go to therapy. And I say, real niggas don't go to therapy. Because that's how niggas feel, you know what I'm saying? We grow up where our parents don't know about that. Our grandparents don't know about that. You live and you experience the shit that you go through and you deal with it right then and there, or you don't never deal with it. We learn to hold all our shit in. Shit, we keep 100 with you.
Wait.
That wasn't my forte.
Wait. Holding our shit in. So we saw that dude fly in the air, right? Was that holding his shit in? Did he hold it in when he was jumping the judge? See what I'm talking about here?
People mention it to me. You know, I'm still stuck. How my pops think fucking need therapy for. To challenge myself to go to therapy. Shit, that's like a whole new step in a whole new generation. It's growth.
And this is what's out there right now. And what was that I forgot, but she's kind of mammy like. I'll bring it up another time, but because I need to move forward and get and think. Here's another guy right here.
Okay, and how does that make you feel?
I mean, I don't feel respected.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no respect for me as a person.
Look inward.
What'd you say?
Look inward.
Oh, look inward.
And then tell me how you feel.
I mean, looking inward, I mean, there's some things I can improve.
Mm-hmm.
Like as me as a person, if I'm looking inside of myself.
Oh, hold on 1 second.
No, you good, bro.
Hey, what's up, Monica?
Nigga, what?
Sorry, my wife Monica.
Her name, yeah.
Monica, look, we all know his stereotype. He likes big stereos. That's just our neighbor. Sweetheart, it's fine. Okay, I'll talk to you later. I love you. Okay, bye, Monica.
Okay, that was pretty funny. Oh, man. Yeah, so basically, now here's one I like right here. Let me hear this one right here. Let's see what he says real quick.
I can't believe I just started a YouTube channel. Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Marcus, and this channel is called Black Boy You Need Therapy. And in this channel, this series is all about Black men and mental health and some of the stigmas that surround Black men getting therapy, why we're so resistant, and most importantly, why every Black man needs a therapist. So sit back, strap in, and watch as I hopefully don't succumb to my crippling fear of being on camera. And maybe together, we can find a way to heal. Before we get started.
All right, I just want to put that in. I think I'm going to use to extend that later, but we're going to get back into here. So as you can see, there is a stigma in the community where Black men do not like to go to therapy, though we really need it. I mean, you're going to see why I have a huge problem with the parents saying that the system failed them. But here we go in a minute. Why seeking knowledge? Why seeking knowledge be dropping? I mean, everybody be dropping gems up in here, but let me read this one right here. He for years disregarded the pleadings of his mother, concerned others for his being so evil, felt nothing about the pain his victims went through. Exactly. Debo gonna have him regret finally. Exactly. Bars. Here we go.
Duty and willful or wanton disregard of safety or persons of property resulting in substantial bodily harm or death, a felony. Battery on a protected person, count 11, that's a gross misdemeanor offense. Count 12, battery by a prisoner, a felony. Count 13, unlawful act related to human excrement or bodily fluid, a felony. All allegedly occurring on January 3rd of 2024. Do you understand these charges?
Yes, I understand.
Can you afford to hire a private lawyer at this time? I'm sorry?
I'm trying to.
Yeah, let me pause that for a minute. You are so right. Most of the men I see, especially on YouTube, do not hold anything in. So I agree. If it's not profanities, it's straight out violence.
Can you afford to hire a private lawyer of your own expense and choosing?
No, not at this time, no.
Are you a veteran or a member of our military?
No.
I can appoint a lawyer from the Public Defender's Office to represent you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And prior to Your Honor calling the case, I did, as a friend of the court, talk to Mr. Redden about his right to a Valdez Jimenez hearing. I know that he did not have one in initial appearance court. However, he's going to be choosing to waive the prompt hearing given the circumstances that happened yesterday in district court where he's already been sentenced in his other case.
Okay, so he was sentenced?
Correct.
Okay, was he sentenced to jail or prison?
Correct.
Okay.
1948.
Okay.
So he's
Phoenix Soul breaks it down like this. I remember the first time I went to therapy, my family said the same, how we don't do stuff like that. Fast forward, and I'm the only one to accomplish more than any in life than all of them. Yep. See, what therapy does is it allows you to decipher situations in life that may cause you a problem if you don't decipher the situations. It's much more than just, oh yeah, you're crazy, blah, blah, you're crazy. No, it's basically a therapist is a well-qualified life coach. And if you noticed on YouTube, dudes for some reason don't have no problem with these self-proclaimed life coaches like Mr. Let Go, Anton Daniels. Basically, I would call them scammers. Scammers. Yeah, I would call them scammers. And then it's ironic that the women in the space, in the sphere space, not the manosphere space, that are well qualified to speak on these, they attack those women. And men, actually, and men. The manosphere attacks anybody who has a PhD at the end of their name. They really do. If you think about it, go through there and look at all the PhDs that might just touch our space. And you will see a bunch of vile crap being displayed against them. Mr. Snoopy breaks it down like this. My whole family needs to go to therapy, but they won't. and wonder why I keep my distance from them. Shaking my head. I feel you.
He understood that and said that he's not trying to have the hearing today.
Okay, that's fine, and I'll canvass them on that. My only issue is I think what has happened is some standard bail figures have carried over since booking. So by the time he sees the judge, he is entitled to a valdez in this hearing, but it is at that point that the court sets release conditions. So I'm removing the standard bail numbers that were only assessed at booking, frankly, until he sees the judge. And given the attempt murder charge of count 1, that is a set in court bail. So the standard bail numbers will be removed. It will be replaced with a set in court bail or release condition. He is entitled to a valdez in his hearing within 48 hours unless good cause shown. But you say, Mr. Redden, Ms. Medina tells me that without waiving a bail hearing completely, you're at least willing to waive it for now because you have some other issues you have to handle. Do you understand and agree with this?
Yes, and I'm going to say
Okay, all right. So he'll just be.
Yeah, so basically you can see the trouble he's in. And that's just what you call finding out. He's literally finding out. I mean, he's literally finding out. Man, oh man. Let me go forward a little bit.
See you earlier, and if you'd like to approach, you may.
February 14th at 9 a.m.
Completely different scene inside of that courtroom than we saw before. Just the distance between the defendant and the judge. Let's bring in our guest standing by for this hour. First, someone with a personal connection to the Las Vegas courtroom here in studio. Crime and Justice correspondent Matt Johnson is with us. And also standing by remotely is Wendy Patrick, trial attorney and prosecutor, also weighing in. First, Matt, let me start with you. When you see everything that's unfolded in this case, what are your thoughts having been there on the ground, a journalist in Las Vegas?
Shock, like everybody else. But here is why also, you and I cover courtrooms all across the country. And this particular courthouse, they have extra security. And I'm talking, when I was a reporter there, I covered a little known case of O.J. Simpson during the armed robbery case. That was back in 2008. So at that time, when I'm thinking back, it was not just one set of security, but two that you went through, including the media. So that comes to mind. And also the setting of where this courthouse is located. So this is located in the downtown Las Vegas area. That's the Fremont. You think of, the Rat Pack and all of that, the hotels that were imploded. This is in that downtown area. There's a lot of crime in that area. There's a lot of not only tourists, but homeless population. So they really do have added security here. And what I've noticed in this video that you actually talked about today was the fact that he was kept so far back. And there was something like 6 Clark County Sheriff's deputies surrounding him. He still had the mitts on. He didn't have the...
Phoenix, so wait, did I miss something? That ninja had a muzzle on? Yes, he had a muzzle. I think they call it a spit guard. It's because he spat on her or spat on somebody.
Spit mask today.
He had just a regular mask, but they were not letting him anywhere near that judge today.
Extra abundance of caution. Wendy Patrick, let me ask you about this attempted murder charge. Not saying it's not warranted in this case, but that's a heavy level when it comes to the options that a prosecutor has in charging.
Yeah, let's see what attempted murder gets you. Hold on. Attempted murder. Sentence average. Oh my. Okay. Oh man. Let me tell you something. He found out the hard way. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. $2 to 20 years. He's already got 2. Okay? Let's split that. That jump cost him a lot. That jump cost him a lot. Remember now, this is just one charge. He's got a stack of other ones. Ladies and gentlemen, just in case somebody wants to come up, I'm going to drop that link because this is getting crazy. Okay. This is just one. This is just one charge. Let me bring this down for a minute. Why Seeking Knowledge says this, and look at the despondent after woofing all that testosterone in their display of pseudo manhood, high prices they pay. Yep. And they never take taught lessons. Exactly. And we're going to see that even deeper when we get into when we get into the Katt situation. Always bought ones. Yep. Look at that. 20 years. Nobody ever really gets tip top, I assume. But remember now, this is just one of the charges he has. He has like 10. This is just the judge incident. Okay? They actually gave him a break and only gave him 2 years for that first thing. It wasn't even 2 years. If he would have just behaved, he probably could have been in there for a year, maybe, and then got some type of probation, right? Now, no, that's not going to happen. No. Oh, quite strangely, no, he's in trouble. And maybe it's to his best. Maybe he needs to just be, living there away from people where he can hurt other people.
Someone who's accused of what we all saw unfold on that screen.
And because Julia and Matt, we all saw it unfold, we can understand the rationale behind a charge like that. Think about any other type of case when you didn't have a judge being the victim. You would look at things like demeanor. How do you prove intent? All the different circumstantial elements that would lead you to believe it was an intent to batter versus an intent to kill. You talk about him being a flying felon. The force with which he leapt across that bench, the rage with which he fought with the people in the courtroom, the deputies that were trying to control him, the fact that the one deputy had to go to the hospital, all of that factors into the decision of a charge to bring. This isn't somebody that threw something at a judge, or it wasn't a push or a punch. So when you look at all of that together, and like we always say, a picture may be worth 1,000 words, but a video is priceless in establishing some of those foundational elements. And the prosecution felt that it fit here, and sure enough, that was the charge. That was actually the charge many of us felt would be coming, given the scene that we saw unfold in that courtroom.
So no battery, no assault, none of those things.
Why Seeking Knowledge? You don't need to even be sorry. Sorry to reference Princella. I think you're accurate for doing so. But she reportedly shows biologically where they lack an adequate governance system. Bars. Things like this prove it. Why is Seeking Knowledge? You nailed it, and I'll tell you why. The last thing he needed to do was attack the last person he needed to attack, because that person had his whole life in her hands. That just right there proves Princella's point. It proves it to a T. I just saw this. Phoenix ball gag. Spitguard is a vanilla speak for a muzzle. Correct. He primed for BSM. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, this is what self-hatred and hatred of women gets him. It's a heady mix that always creates disasters. Correct. Can you just imagine his victims? Bars. Exactly, DJ. And she didn't even sentence him yet. Exactly. Well,
things that he had been previously charged and convicted with. This is a much heavier charge that he is going to be now having to face. You described that video so well. Let's listen back to that moment that so many people have seen, but this leap and this attack on the judge.
Any other issues that may arise from the events that occurred last Wednesday will be handled at a future date by a different court. For purposes of the record, I want to make it clear that I am not changing or modifying the sentence I was in the process of imposing last week before I was interrupted by defendant's actions. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court does now sentence you in addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA fee, the $3 DNA administrative assessment fee, and $250 indigent defense fee, 19 to 48 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections.
All right, that was post-attack. That was how he was subdued after the fact. And Matt, I wanted to get your sense of the difference between these courtrooms. Do you see any difference between not only the courtroom that was where this proceeding was for the attack, but also where the new judge was handling his case over this attack?
Right. So what a lot of the viewers might not realize is that there are different sizes of courtrooms in any particular courthouse across the country. So the first one that we saw with the honorable judge there that was attacked, and then we just showed the video of him with the spit mask and the mitts, that appears to be one of the smaller courtrooms. So he would have had shorter distance to be able to run and attack her, versus the courtroom that we saw today, which looked like a much bigger courtroom. You could even see in the area where there may be a jury box that there was other defendants that were waiting for their cases on the docket. They were watching these 6 Clark County Sheriff's deputies bring him in and out.
Pause that in right there. Welcome, Bridget. Welcome, Wise Seeking Knowledge. Welcome, the Rack Girl is in the house. Phoenix Soul is in the house. Let me see if I can go over to her. Here we go. Let's see.
Through his defense.
Okay, so right here.
That sounds, we can get an understanding of what may be something that comes up through his defense.
Tell us about your brother and the brother that we haven't seen. You know, who is he like? What is he like? And how did he get in this situation?
Well, he's basically born with mental illness. He was born with crack.
Okay, so if you didn't hear, she said he was born with mental illness. So let's keep it going.
Okay, in his system. So his chance of life.
Exactly, Bridget. You would think he was in Silence of the Lambs, correct? Hannibal Lecter.
Was taken at birth. Deep inside, he's a good person. He's just not had the opportunity in life to be surrounded by. Well, he's basically born with mental illness. He was born with crack cocaine in his system. So his chance in life was taken at birth. Deep inside, he's a good person. He's just not had the opportunity in life to be surrounded by positive people.
He didn't have the opportunity. You know, the one thing I've learned as a Black man is that if I want to be around negative people, I can be around negative people. If I want to be around positive people, I can be around positive people. It's just a matter, it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. So it's not like he didn't have the ability to be around good people. He just chose not to. So I'm not really digging into that. I understand there's some complexities to that, but at the same time, I'm not taking the bait on that. Not one bit. Here we go. Phoenix Soul. Let me break it down like this. Phoenix Soul. From personal experience, what he did was supposed to happen. So now he can get the help he needs. His whole life has been crying out for it. Correct. Hey, if they want to put him in a mental health facility for 10 years, I'm good. But don't put him in there for no 1 or 2 years or 6 months and then let him out, unleash him, not let him out, unleash him on the population. Okay? Because he's not going to go, see, he's not going to cause, you might think that, oh, wow, how are you going to treat a brother so bad and wanted to see him, locked up for longer than that, when he leaves the house, he's not going to another person's neighborhood. He's going to our neighborhood with our women, with our children in this that he can damage, with other men that he can damage. So there should be a form of justice reform, which, what should I say, applies to the situation with unfair treatment. But then there's parts of justice reform where it's like, okay, we want you to give this man more time because he's been wreaking havoc on our community for so long. And I know you gave him for whatever reason, you gave him a light sentence, but this time, no. He's not going to be helped. I'm telling you, it does not take a year to fix somebody. It takes 3, it might take 5 years, it might take longer than that. And those are the people who are causing the crime, or who are causing not just the crimes, but the damage through the community. There's a point where you want to help a man, but there's a point where you want to help the community. You got to make a decision sometimes. It's either or sometimes. It's you're never going to be able to help both in many ways.
Do you think that this will essentially, him being sentenced, will undo all the work that he's done to repair his mental state?
No, definitely not. It's only going to put him in a worse state of mind because the system has failed him, and that's how he feels.
Okay, so she said it'll put him in a worse state of mind because the system will fail him. The problem is that you have to understand, it seemed like to me, he had enough lucidity in his mind and in his speech pattern that he could have sought help. I guarantee you what the prosecution is going to do, they're going to look at all the records of all the times that he refused, mental help, and say, so you had a chance to fix yourself and you didn't. You had the ability to fix yourself, so you didn't. So the system was available. He could have actually requested to stay longer in the mental health facility. He could have said, something, I'm not ready yet. Can I stay here longer? But he didn't do that. He didn't do that. He did not do that. And remember now, this started even before the judge. Remember, he had to get to the judge in the first place. And the only way you can get to a judge is when you do stuff, and he did stuff, even though he's had a job. He had a job. He disrespected his job by wanting to continue to do what he's been doing. They gave him a chance and he blew it.
That's how he feels that the system fails him. So he's going to come out with that mentality and go forward in life, knowing that he has pleaded everything that he can, and being in a better place is different for us all. If he can
notice how he's not giving anybody any eye contact.
Be in a better place for a month, 30 days, for him, that's a lot.
Wendy Patrick, you're still with us. Your reaction to the family's reaction to this sentencing and this trial, but also the question about whether or not a lot of people have had he'll get better help behind bars than he would have as a free person.
It's always awkward talking to family members who love the perpetrator, who love the defendant. And it's awkward for the family members to try to find something to say that doesn't downplay the seriousness of the crime, but also maybe is said with a sort of an edge towards looking for ways in which somebody can be rehabilitated. I've practiced law long enough to know that not everybody can be rehabilitated. But having said that, it doesn't mean we don't try. But in a case like this, the options are severely limited. They have to look at the seriousness of the crime, the potential for future violence, all of the kinds of threat assessment and management skills.
We can only say that there's a high potential for future violence. He didn't learn his lesson. Mr. Snoopy breaks it down like this. I hate that women like her are more concerned with her brother than the women that he tragically assaulted. Bars. Supporting degeneracy also contributes to the downfall of our community. Bars. But I mean, there's a point where you can only put people in a certain place. You have to ask yourself this. If we give this guy a lenient charge, especially because the funny thing in the way the system did fail him is that if you're going to give somebody a lenient, sentencing, they need to do something for you. Like they have to go to mandatory, mental health for 5 years or something. 5 years of mental health probation, not just probation where you just have to act like you're good, because most people who do a lot of nasty crimes were on probation. So that didn't work. So anyway, we are going to go fast forward. I think that's enough. I'm going to skip that. I'm going to go into this right here.
Do it for play. If you do it for real, here it is, Kevin. I got a show at your hometown in Philly. I'm going to take my...
Ladies and gentlemen, Katt Williams.
Special there. On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full court basketball court, a boxing ring, 2 microphones for a rap cipher, or you can get your ass dusted in comedy on that stage. But it's $1 million up for each one. That's $5 million, Mr. 28 million in Forbes. I'll be bringing mine in cash, Mitch. Bring yours however you want. And since you're not a puppet, don't bring no white people with you then. That's a $5 million bet individually. You can take it all, or you can take it part and parcel. This is the new movement.
What do y'all think? Type what you think of about his challenge, the Katt Williams challenge. Here we go.
Kevin Hart is no stranger to laughter.
Tiffany, how do you make a napkin dance? Put a little boogie in it.
What hasn't always been so funny is his love life, with cheating scandals, a messy divorce, and controversy at every corner. While his marriage to Aniko Parrish has had its ups and downs, they've been able to keep their love afloat. Here's the truth about his dating history and how he found love with Aniko. Kevin and Torrei met while attending community college in Philadelphia. They had a class together, but Torrei told Nicole they never spoke inside the classroom. One day, Kevin was in the cafeteria just standing on one of the tables. Torrei said, "I guess he was standing on the table because he's short, so he's got to make his presence known." She walked over to him and thought he was hilarious. When Kevin got off the table, Torrei told him, "Yo, you are so funny. Why aren't you doing comedy?" What she didn't know was Kevin was already doing comedy on the side. He invited her to one of his shows, and she...
Welcome, Charzay. Welcome, Mr. Snoopy, Feisty Black Tina, Bridget Mouton, Phoenix Soul, the Rack Girl. Why seeking knowledge? Let's keep it going.
A girlfriend attended the event. Kevin bought her a drink and some chicken wings and asked her to hold his cell phone. Torrei said that was a turning point for her. Because Kevin trusted her with his phone, she knew things were about to get...
Oh, she fell for the cell phone trick. Damn.
It's serious. From that moment on, they were always together. After 4 months of dating, Kevin wanted to move in with her. Torrei put her foot down and told him
Kevin wanted to move in with her.
he wasn't going to be shacking up. So Kevin went to a jeweler, came back with a ring, and told her, "All right, well, we are together now, and you're my fiance." Torrei said it
that was kind of weird.
wasn't a formal proposal. He pretty much handed her the ring and said, "You belong to me." Because she was so young,
Oh, that's already a bad start when people say that. Those are red flags if you don't know what they are. Those are red flags. Yeah, rag girl, you nailed it. So he's a homosexual too. Not surprising. Found love with Iniko. That's laughable in itself. Torrei was his A1 day one. Yep, exactly.
she said she just rolled with it. She put the ring on her finger and said, "Let's do it." According to Refinery 29
Let me rewind it. I think I missed
Young,
it.
she said she just rolled with it.
Okay, let me.
Told her, "All right, well, we are together now, and you're my fiance." Torrei said it wasn't a formal proposal. He pretty much handed her the ring and said, "You belong to me." Because she was so young, she said she just rolled with it. She put the ring on her finger and said, "Let's do it." According to Refinery 29, they eventually dropped out of school to pursue their Hollywood dreams. Kevin worked a job making $5 an hour while pursuing his comedy career. Torrei told Essence she would sit and help him write jokes. They bonded over their love of
I need you to remember what that just happened right there. Listen to that right there. Okay?
games. Kevin worked a job making $5 an hour while pursuing his comedy career. Torrei told Essence she would sit and help him write jokes.
She would sit and help him write jokes. I thought the Black manosphere was trying to sell that Black women never helped a man get up, get money or whatever like that. They tried to make it sound like that Black women drag Black men down and all that kind of stuff. Just remember that.
They bonded over their love of comedy, and in 2003, they got married. Torrei had dreams of being in the entertainment industry as an actress, a producer, or a stand-up comedian, but she put her career on the back burner as Kevin went full throttle. His career really took off in 2004 when he starred in the film Soul Plane. He gained national recognition.
I have to admit, I love that movie. It was funny to me. Not a whole lot of substance, but very funny.
The comedy tours, movie roles, and TV appearances started rolling in. Torrei gave birth to their daughter Heaven in 2005, followed by their son Hendrix in 2007. But things weren't going well at home. She told Inside Edition, "He starts to get fame and I'm feeling a little left behind. We grew apart." Kevin even told Ebony Magazine he went through a period where he would lie about everything. Kevin also told Chelsea Handler he was too young to understand the definition of marriage. He said,
Yeah, he got married. He got married just to basically acquire control and access to her. That's basically why he got married to her. Spicy Black Tina breaks it down like this. Torrei said she wrote his jokes and helped him get to the level he is now. She got repaid by getting cheated on and divorced. And you'll see later on. You'll see later on. I don't believe he even. You'll see the resistance. Here we go.
Wasn't ready for it, so I take responsibility. Like a true comedian, he made light of their marital issues and downplayed his infidelities. Kevin justified stepping out on Torrei by saying the cheating occurred when he was in the prime of his life.
So basically, he cheated on her a lot. So the problem that does is that what a lot of us Black men don't understand is that when we do that, we're lowering our value because we'll gain a reputation for being. What good is a cheating high value man to a woman that wants to be in love with somebody or wants a relationship with somebody? When people cheat and step out and everything, it's not only the cheating and stepping out that's the problem. There's usually something else that's connected to it, some type of mental instability.
Kevin was spotted out with random women. However, during a stand-up special at Madison Square Garden, he said cheating wasn't the problem in his marriage. He added, lying about cheating was the problem.
Yeah, oh my, see.
Things came to a head one drunken night when he went out with friends, including his buddy Harry Ratchford, and came stumbling back home at 4 a.m. Torrei felt something was going on, and to prove he wasn't cheating, he called Harry so he could vouch for him. Unfortunately for Kevin, Harry was too wasted.
I know him. I know Harry. I believe he writes jokes for Kevin, but he actually is a pretty decent comedian on his own. Not super funny, but funny to me. I mean, he had some good lines. I forgot he has a friend. I think he passed away though. J-Dub. J-Dub was back there. We all used to tour together a little bit. I did not tour with Kevin. No. So I want to make sure. No, you lying, DJ. No, I didn't tour with Kevin, but I did tour with Henry right here. So I did tour with him. We used to do stuff at there's Travis Air Force Base. We stuffed at the end zone, a couple places in Hayward, a couple places in Oakland, all over, kind of like that. But yeah, it's a shame that basically, let's just put it this way. Cynthia G would have a field day with Kevin. Let me just put it that way. Here we go.
To lie for him. In his stand-up routine, Kevin said he had Harry on speakerphone.
Wait, here we go.
And to prove he wasn't cheating, he called Harry so he could vouch for him. Unfortunately for Kevin, Harry was too wasted to lie for him.
Oh, no. I wonder if they're still friends after that.
Stand-up routine, Kevin said he had Harry on speakerphone when Harry admitted that before going home to Torrei, Kevin was, quote, with the fat. Harry also made another comment about Kevin hooking up with white women. Kevin reportedly met Aniko Parrish sometime.
Man, Henry, no. Oh, hey, look. Hey.
In 2009, and according to Us Weekly, they started dating soon after. The timeline is a bit shady because Torrei and Kevin were still legally married.
Yeah, they were still legally married. Chaos Rain Show says this: no turntable. DJ Torch. Oh yeah, I got the ones and twos. Actually, they're in the what do I call it? The entertainment room. Let's just put it that way. But it ain't behind me. Maybe I will set up the turntables next show. We'll see. Let me keep going.
Kevin and Torrei separated in February 2010, and in January 2011, after Bossip claimed he was spotted out with a red bone, Kevin filed for divorce.
Kevin filed for divorce. I thought it was okay. Never
Though
mind.
Torrei held him down during the start of his career, Kevin asked that she receive no spousal support.
Let me play that one more time.
With a red bone, Kevin filed for divorce. Even though Torrei held him down during the start of his career, Kevin asked that she receive no spousal support. According to TMZ, Kevin was worth approximately
no spousal support. None.
$9 million at the time, but only had to pay Torrei a lump settlement of $175,000 and close to $20,000 per month in child support for their 2 children. She also received an Escalade and some jewelry. Their divorce was finalized in 2013.
Classy guy.
Kevin was finally free to show off his new boo. And for the next several years, Torrei would accuse Aniko of being Kevin's mistress and wrecking their marriage. In 2014, Kevin hopped on his Twitter to come to Aniko's defense. He wrote, "My woman has nothing to do with my past marriage problems in any way, shape, or form." Torrei clapped back by telling TMZ, despite what Kevin has said and the time frames he is trying to establish, she was his mistress and was one of the reasons that broke up my family. The public was on Torrei's side, and Aniko was getting dragged left and right, which angered Kevin. He ruffled a lot of feathers when he told
I don't see why Aniko should get dragged. It's Kevin who needed to get dragged. That's the weird thing.
Upskill magazine, Black women were just hating on Aniko because of her exotic looks. Despite all the hate, Kevin and Aniko's relationship continued to blossom. In 2013, they took a couple's trip with Ludacris, race car driver Marco Andretti, and their partners. Kevin shared a photo of him and Aniko on his Instagram and referred to her as his rib. He also included the hashtag #LetThemHate. In 2014, at Aniko's 30th birthday party, Kevin got down on one knee and asked her to be his wife. His proposal took place the same night Torrei was celebrating the premiere of her new reality show, Atlanta Exes. This led many people to side-eye Kevin's timing. Was he trying to steal Torrei's shine and take over the spotlight? Either way, the future Mrs. Hart definitely wasn't shy about showcasing her stunning rock all over social media.
What a beautiful rock. All right.
Which online sources
Guess what is, see what happens next.
is described as a 6-carat cushion cut in a halo setting. Their wedding took place in August 2016 in Santa Barbara, California. According to ABC News, the evening ceremony was attended by about 200 guests, including Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, and Gabrielle Union. After tying the knot, Kevin reflected on the lessons he learned from his first marriage and how things would be different with Aniko. He told
Remember, this is important. So he's saying he's reflecting on what he did wrong in his first marriage to a woman who he made it clear did not want to pay alimony payments, and pretty much she got, okay? And now he wants to fix everything and be a good man. Now let's see what let's see what he does.
He was more cautious about taking the plunge, but decided to get married again because Aniko deserved it. He also opened up about the best part of marriage. He said, "You get to laugh every day. For no reason at all. You just laugh." In 2017, they announced they were expecting a baby. Just months later, Aniko put her foot in her mouth in a seemingly innocent Instagram post. In the caption, she shared she and Kevin had been together for 8 years, which reignited the rumors that she was his mistress when he was married to Torrei. When a follower pointed out
She's not too bright. Oh, man. Okay. So basically, she's not too bright. So, okay. So Torrei was right. And you know what happens when you cheat with a cheater? Let's find out.
Overlapping of relationships, Aniko clapped back by saying,
"Welcome, Mel. Welcome, Mel."
They were separated, living in separate homes. I was never a secret. She also added that Torrei wanted to play the victim and not own up to her wrongdoing as well. Aniko also said that Torrei singled her out because her and Kevin's relationship stuck, despite knowing he was also involved with other women. You know Torrei wasn't going to let...
You know something? Torrei needs to go back to court.
Let that slide. She commented, "We have made successful strides to become a loving co-parenting family, but you have now left it open for my character to be questioned. You, Kevin, and I know the truth." After catching too much heat, Aniko deleted her posts. The grits really hit the fan when Kevin posted an Instagram video in September 2017 with a caption that read, "Sending so many apologies to my wife and kids." In the video, he admitted he had made bad decisions and someone was trying to profit from it. So what happened?
Uh-oh. Let me put Phoenix's, because it fits right now. It fits right now.
Happened. A video was released of Kevin cheating on Aniko with a woman named Montia Sabag. Kevin was being extorted for $10 million over the video. If all that wasn't bad enough, it was later discovered the person behind the extortion attempt was Kevin's associate.
So his associate did worse than just bash him. He tried to get him for $10 million. I thought the point of marriage was not to cheat. It's like, to me, Kevin made a point of cheating. And I guarantee you that woman was not the only one he cheated with. It's like, he needed some therapy and obviously didn't get the right therapist or didn't go to therapy. Yeah, basically.
Jonathan Todd Jackson. When the authorities got involved, Jonathan was locked up and held on $100,000 bail. The charges were later dropped. Kevin and Aniko formed a united front, and a source told E! News Aniko accepted his apology and was focused on her pregnancy. She was going to stick it out and had
super rich Pookies and the women who love them. That's basically what we're looking at.
no plans to file for divorce. The source added, she believes Kevin is a good husband and always comes home to her. Aniko
and always is a good husband and always comes home to her. That's not sounding very, convincing to me, if you ask me.
Gave birth to their son, Kenzo Cash Hart, in November 2017. Thankfully, they were able to work things out.
So now he's got a ball and chain on another woman. Now he's got two women with a ball and chain.
Has stayed by his side and helped him make a full recovery after a September 2019 car accident. In March 2020, they made the announcement that Aniko was pregnant with a baby girl.
Oh, no.
Congratulations to the Hart family, and we wish them all the best. Let us.
Yeah, what a wonder. So Kevin has, that's the funny thing is that with all that, another Kevin would say, Kevin Samuels would say is that, and the theory of the men as a prize is, what prize do you mean? You mean the prize of being cheated on? Is that a prize? The prize of being, abused in some cases? Like our friend Diobra? I mean, what's the prize? What prize does a woman get? Men, we might be the prize. We might be the prize. It's just they didn't tell you what kind of prize it was. It might be a booby prize. A prize is a prize, right? You may not like the prize. The prize might be, the dude brings home some STDs to you. They didn't tell you what kind of prize it was. So maybe I need to rethink my disagreement of men being the prize, because there is a prize brought. There is a prize to have. You are getting something you may not want, but it's a prize in our mind, if you know what I mean. Mel breaks it down like this. I'm not shocked Torrei got so little in the divorce. That's what they do to black wives in Hollywood. That is correct. D Wade, Steve, yep. Steve, yep. H, X's, yep, exact. You nailed it. You nailed it, Mel. So this is a little bit. Let me go to this one right here.
Ask for my own car because I like to drive myself. I'm a Southern woman.
Hey, Patricia, it's your girl, going live with the Breeze Talk and Bay Squad. We've got to talk. And when I say I got tea, I got tea.
Wait, let's see. Tell
me why Torrei Hart is going on tour with Katt Williams.
That's right. Torrei Hart's going on tour with Katt. That is to me what you call justice. That's justice in the comedy arena. That's justice in the comedy arena, in my opinion. He can't be mad. Kevin can't be mad. Can't be mad at that. Cannot be mad. This is what Kevin Samuels said, though.
You might be a high value man. Okay, you may have all these things, but if you out here cheating on your wife and you're breaking the rules, you're leaving behind bad publicity for your marriage, no outside babies, no STDs, no public embarrassments, no putting the family brand at risk. Those are 4 primary things. But if you as a man are out here undisciplined, hitting chicks in the parking lot, doing all kind of stuff, I don't care if you got $1 billion, you're not high value. Because if you can't control your Johnson, you can't control my net.
Wait a minute. If you can't control your Johnson, but Kev. Kevin, do you remember this one?
It ain't gonna pay. You really want to know if a woman.
Let me go back here a little bit. Kevin, so you can't control a Johnson.
Hey, It's chilly out here in the A. I don't know how many of you guys watched this week, which was Men's Week, and it was a good week. Content. Talk to men about starting strong, making a decision, and when you start winning. But one of the conversations I wanted to kind of build on is, I said it, that marriage today is increasingly become for guys who have money. Women may want to dispute that in theory, but in practice, men know it to be true. So what are you going to do if you don't?
And that's a good point by Kevin Samuels, that marriage now is really a marriage.
Now let's get to the 1099 part. That's what I want to get to. Basically, Kevin has this theory. He bragged about having a rotation of 6 women. So he's basically slinging his thing around. He's just paying for it. Let's check out let's see if Torrei can crush it. I'm going to play something right here.
And the dating scene is so...
You don't know, this is Torrei Hart right here. Here we go.
different. You know what I'm saying? Because getting married at 23, I ain't go to college, you know, I didn't get a chance to be a hoe and do all that shit. So, you know, trying to date at 40 and do hoe shit, it just don't work. You can't do the same hoe shit. Like, these bitches out here, they hoeing to another level. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to hoe with this old pussy. They like, we don't want that shit. I'm like, you don't want this old pussy? It still work. You know what I'm saying? It do still work. Like, I still drop it like it's hot. You see this and squat. You saw that, I did a double dip. You saw that shit. You young niggas better recognize 40 is the new 20. For 2 seconds anyway, okay? Because I ain't gonna be doing too much. But what I'm saying is I am...
Okay, so that's Torrei right there. One of our live acts. I don't want to play too much of them. But here we go.
Hey, what's up, guys, y'all? If getting money was a person, a petty was a problem, y'all, Katt Williams has just said checkmate to all these mofos waiting for his response. While Kevin Hart is being unfunny on ESPN, trying to call himself roasting, basically proving everything Katt Williams said is right. Katt Williams said, baby, how about this? How about checkmate? How about I'm going to bring, since we want to talk about jokes, since we want to talk about GOAT status, since we want to talk about selling out tours, how about I raise you? How about this current comedy tour gonna be sold out? Because guess what? I got your wife. That's right. Kevin Hart's ex-wife, the one that, ooh, they got a complicated history. It's going on court with Katt Williams. Now, why is this such a thing? Because if you guys don't know, it has long been rumored that when Kevin Hart actually was funny, actually was a comedic genius, it's been rumored that his wife was the one writing all his mess. Matter of fact, it wasn't rumored. Kevin Hart and his wife has come out and said that. We're going to drop the receipts. We're also going to talk about, baby, Katt Williams said checkmate. This tour is scheduled to be everything, y'all. Let's get into this so y'all don't miss anything.
Now, before we get into this, let me just...
Yeah, that is crazy. Thank you for breaking it down. Tisa tells us. So I just wanted to make sure you heard what I heard and that we know that it's for real. Mel breaks it down like this. Imagine what kind of person you have to be with a woman since y'all were basically children. She invested in you, birthed your children, and you want her to get absolutely nothing. Disgusting. Bars. That's exactly, Mel, you nailed it. That's the type of person he is. And that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem right there. That is who he is. He has also, Go Glow also says this. He also has a video where is in a car trying to pick up what, for real? Oh my. There must be something about infidelity that a lot of men enjoy. It's either one, they enjoy the excitement of infidelity. Two, they enjoy promiscuity, okay? Or three, they have a sexual dysfunction. And I don't mean like they can't get it up or nothing, but there's something mentally that makes them have to have sex so much that they cannot be happy with just one person. Those are 3 checkmates. There's nothing you can do with them. 3 checkmates. So that's crazy. Okay, let's break it down right now with, I'm going to start dipping into the mess now. Let's get into Bernie Mac's daughter.
So it seems like Bernie Mac's daughter has spoke out in response to what Katt Williams has said on the Club Shay Shay podcast. And in today's video, we're going to take a listen to what she had to say in response on pretty much what Katt Williams was talking about in the interview. But before I do that, I'm just going to play you an old clip of what Bernie Mac has said, warning the comedians to not take other comedians' jokes. So I'm going to let you guys take a listen to that first, and then I'm going to play the clip of Katt Williams speaking about it. And then after that, we're going to listen to what Bernie Mac's daughter had to say in response, and then we're going to close the video out. I'm not going to waste no more time. If you guys don't mind dropping a like on the video, that would be highly appreciated. And feel free to subscribe to the channel. And also feel free to share this video out and comment your guys' opinions. And if you want to become a member today to support the channel, I'll link that down in the bottom of the description. But go ahead and take a listen, and I'll come back to you guys.
Being with me all the time. You know, she's seen my stuff, my new stuff, and all that kind of stuff. Especially when I do my single dates, and I'm trying to school her. You don't do your material around a lot of comedians. That's like stealing in front of the police. You know what I mean? They mean well, but they sit on the side. Ooh, that's funny. Next thing you know, you see it on HBO or something. You be sitting at home. That shit mine, you know? But ain't nobody gonna believe first come, first serve. You know? So when you do new stuff, you never, I'm telling you, for you comics coming up, never bring your stuff out in front of a house full of comedians. You will never work a lot. Especially established comedians like myself, you'll never work a lot. I got too much pride. I can't take something that ain't mine. You know what I mean? I can't go up and say something ain't mine. The kick about going up there is making people laugh about something that you wrote.
Fourth King, I got the offer.
Then what happened?
But I turned it down.
Why?
Because you shit on Bernie. And I know the truth. You think I'm gonna let you shit on Bernie and then come get me? I'm the next king? Fuck you.
Okay. Let's fast forward because we've seen those clips. Let me get to right about here.
Ugly, and you were good looking, and he couldn't make it because you did. And that ain't the way comedy works. The king is the funniest. Period. Every time. And that's why no audience member was ever swayed. It didn't matter where Bernie went. You think if Bernie went first, he wasn't the king? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get your ego out of this.
All right, so now go ahead and take a listen to Bernie Mac's daughter, and then we're going to close the video out.
Because you shit on Bernie. And I know the truth.
So I keep getting lots of contact about my thoughts on the Katt Williams interview on Club Shay Shay. The interview heard round the world. And I don't know, my take is probably going to be really, really boring. Number one, I want people to keep in mind, my dad has been dead for 15 years. So I have not been fully immersed in the world of comedy. I don't know the ins and outs of that like that anymore because my end has been gone for 15 years. You know, I've got friends in the game, but we don't sit and talk about, you know, stuff like that. So I don't know Katt Williams. Never met him. That's one person I never did get to meet when my dad was alive. But from everything that I've ever heard my dad, you know, say, he's always seemed like a stand-up dude. So I have no qualms, no quarrels with him. I thought the interview was hilarious, entertaining. That man dropped so many one-liners that I'm sure we are going to be wearing down to the ground in this year of our Lord 2024. But one of my biggest takeaways in watching people's responses was how people were kind of like, oh, this kind of sad, like outside of being, tickled by it. And I've seen people say stuff like, it's like watching, your uncles go at it and you're like, oh, why can't we all just get along? Well, I mean, because everybody doesn't get along. Like, I think that's one of the misconceptions about comedians. And I guess it's due to the fact that what they do brings so much joy to others, that the perception, the expectation is that behind closed doors, everybody gets along, everybody it's just love. And no, it's not. They've always been competitive. It's always been, as far as I've ever witnessed in watching my dad, it's always been kind of cutthroat. Like, you'll have, people beefing, like same as within your family. Just because y'all related don't mean y'all all get along, right? Comedy's no different. But for me, Katt Williams has my utmost appreciation and respect for giving my dad his props and his flowers. And I felt like it was genuine. There are some people who have given, my dad his flowers now that he's dead, that I'm looking at like, doggone well, he wasn't doing it when he was alive. And that, not just famous people, just people all across the board. As my dad used to say, you ever want to be loved by everybody? You ever want to be special? Just die. It's real easy to give lip service when somebody dies and you go, oh, they were so wonderful. And that's not how you felt when they were alive. But when Katt spoke of my dad, for me, I felt his heart. I felt that it was genuine and I appreciate it. Again, it's been 15 years since my dad's been dead. If you follow me at all, I've said this repeatedly. Like, it does my heart good to know that my dad was a stand-up guy, that the man that I knew him to be was who he actually was to people, because that's the thing. Like, we can love people and think they one way and then find out later. No. And I say, like, in 15 years, if he was an asshole, somebody by now would have been like, let me tell you about that, my love. So that is not the case with my dad. Makes me so proud, and I just really appreciate what I believe the genuine love and respect that Katt Williams showed my father. It is so much appreciated. Much love and mad props to Katt Williams. I would love to sit down and just have a conversation with Katt Williams, because I think that is probably the most entertaining and gem dropping conversation I probably would have in my life outside of conversations with my dad. So yeah, so that's my take. Like I said, probably boring.
She is beautiful. She has a warm heart too. You can tell by the way she talks. You can tell she has a modest, warm heart. And she just seems so thankful. I like her. She's a kind person. Yes, I'd say she looks a little bit better than her dad, but yeah, I would say she does. She has the same, I guess what they call it, bone structure. And then, so basically, let's go into the situation where Katt Williams is accusing Cedrick the Entertainer of stealing a joke. Here we go.
Williams set the internet on fire with his interview with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay, letting the world know that the comedy industry have gatekeepers that will hate you, block you, and they will try to get your version whole. Nobody was untouchable. He went on Steve Harvey, Chris Tucker, Ricky Smiley, and Sad the Entertainer, basically saying Sad the Entertainer took his joke and stole it. Literally. Now, a video of that joke resurfaced, letting the world know that Katt Williams speaks the truth when he speaks. Everything he said.
Yeah, so basically what Katt had an argument about was that, let me see if I have a more accurate. Basically, let me tell you this story right here. I DJ for comedy shows between, I want to say, 92 and 97. And on stage. Such, artists such as Linnell, the writer, one of the writers who we just talked about earlier for Kevin Hart. He was on the stage in Oakland as well. Daniel Dugar, if anybody knows him, and Rodney Perry, who you've probably seen in a couple movies here and there. They were staples. But amongst comedians, they steal material. They steal material. It's not going to be a facsimile of the material, but it's going to be the core of the joke. And what I mean by the core of the joke is it's what makes the joke the joke. The storyline of the joke, basically. So I'm going to use this as an example, but that's basically what happened a lot. Because comedians got to eat. And a lot of them, they'll do, if they see somebody rocking a joke that's working good, and let's say they're doing a joke next week or the week after that somewhere else where they think or they know the other comedian's not going to be, they're going to rock it. They're going to rock that joke. They're going to rock that joke because they need to eat. And they know what funny is funny. They know when you're on stage as a comedian, and I'm not a comedian, but I've been on stage with them, the last thing you want to do is go flat. And you will steal a joke not to go flat. Going flat is the worst thing that can happen to a comedian on stage, except for, falling down and breaking your leg or something. It's the worst. Telling a joke and that it just, you go, oh yeah, everybody. And then after that, this happened. Ha, ha, ha. And then you just hear this. Silence is a nightmare to a comedian. Unless they're telling a serious story, because they do, a comedian might break into a serious part where they're saying something about their life or something like that. And, they're not worried about laughs. They're worried about sending a message. But for the most part, silence is the worst thing for a comedian. And if they hear that, they will jump on somebody else's joke. They know that's going to hit. In a matter of speaking, what I'm saying is that there are comedians, some have to do it, some don't do it at all, but there is a spectrum of where comedians will DJ, per se, other jokes, if you know what I mean. You know how like a DJ plays music from other artists, and that's how we get our bread and butter? Where there are comedians who I'm telling you, they don't tell the joke verbatim, but they use the frame of the joke for their joke, which means they're stealing the joke. That's what's going down. I've seen it happen hundreds of times. I've seen comedians argue about it. Okay, whether it was at Jeffrey's Inner Circle, whether it was at the Air Force Base, or or another comedy spot. Oh man. It's just how it is. So what Bernie Mac was saying is completely true. Do not tell your joke to another comedian. Just don't do that. Oh yeah, tell me if this is funny. Ha ha ha. Even though I've seen comedians do that, what I learned though, what a lot of comedians did is this. What I learned is they knew I wasn't a comedian and I couldn't pull off their jokes. So they would try their new jokes, believe it or not, on me, because number one, I was square back then. I was still a DJ, but I was still square. And they know that the joke's not going to be stolen, because even if I could remember the joke, I'm a DJ, not a comedian. So they were safe with me. I was kind of like the joke vaults in a matter of speaking. But the good thing was my memory sucked back then too. So if they told me a joke and I laughed at it, they know I wouldn't remember it, or they know I wouldn't tell nobody, because I was a DJ. I wasn't a joke bouncer. So anyway, let me keep playing this. Here we go.
He delivered it in a special way. Check this shit out.
When it cut off, it looked like this. You flossing in a 6-shift convertible.
I mean, just in case that music is copyrighted, I got to turn it down a little bit. Okay. But you know what's going on. He's just kind of doing the Scotch show thing. Okay. Okay, so here he goes to the music.
All right, again, here goes Cedrick the Entertainer doing his joke from Kings of Comedy.
They gonna move to the moon. Ain't gonna happen. Y'all move to the moon, damn it, we coming to the moon.
Okay.
We'll be right behind
Let me break it down right here. I'll tell you what's going on here, because believe it or not, again, I'm telling you, I'm really good at knowing about jokes, because I've heard so many doggone jokes, straight jokes 3 times a week, 5 to 7 people a night, 2 or 3 hours a night. I've heard a lot of jokes. He reformatted Katt Williams' joke. He is still using the same core of the joke. Okay. Which is the core of the joke, which is the joke. So listen close. Here we go.
With Cadillac grills, nigga, just rolling one headlight out.
Mel, you nailed it. He took the frame exactly.
All wrong, all base. Y'all know we'd drive a space shuttle too. That's right up our damn alley. A space shuttle is long. They ain't scared no black folk. We'd drive a space shuttle. We grew up driving long for.
I mean, he covered it up good. He covered it up really good, because he went to a space shuttle instead of a car, but it's still the same joke.
We'd drive a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce and a quarter. We get us a cigarette. We be in a space shuttle like it's a 72 deuce.
Welcome, Quita. Okay, so he's playing that. I don't want to play that because Cutie Pie is probably gonna. I don't want Cutie Pie to hit my algorithm.
Or maybe just
As you can see, Katt Williams was not lying. One is about space, one is about a car, but it's the same.
Oh no, he was wrong. They're actually both. Remember now, Cedrick actually brought it back to the car. He just used space. He used the space theme to try to cover it up. But they actually ended up, on a steering wheel and inside of a car. The shuttle was just the car this time. Welcome, Oya.
Exact joke.
Welcome, Quita.
Very detailed. Sitting on a stool, basically driving a vehicle. Katt Williams revealed a lot of truth within his jokes. And when you hold a conversation, he's a very intellectual person.
Right. See, this is the thing. I heard somebody say Katt Williams had a 160 IQ. this is how you know it's the same joke. And believe it or not, this is weird. But if you were to play them both without music or speaking, you would think they were doing the same thing. That's how you know it's the same joke. Thank you, 163. That is a very smart man right there. Katt Williams. That is how it's going down. So, but get this. Remember what I said? Comedians steal jokes. Where is it? Somebody accused Katt Williams of stealing a joke.
But that joke where he do like, man, if you listen to this song, you can do anything off this song. That's JB Smooth joke, homie.
So we getting into it. So do you mean to tell me?
Okay, so Artista Musa is breaking this down for us. Here we go.
After all this stuff, they saying that Katt Williams is also stealing jokes from JB Smooth. JB Smooth Def Jam intro that premiered in 1996 on Def Jam Comedy, where JB Smooth comes out and does the "You Can Do This to Any Song" dance. Y'all know that's a intro, whatever. And they saying Katt Williams did the same thing. I'm gonna get into both the footage. I'm gonna show y'all the footage from the 1996 JB.
Okay, so let's get into. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I don't want to get. So basically, he's playing.
Y'all know that's a
Mama in the house. Okay, so he's doing it again. Okay, so he does it like that. So, okay, let me see if I can get to. So he goes there, and then let's see if we can get to where. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward it here. Okay, and here's. Okay.
Even if you yes, sir. I like
Okay, cut it off. What's going on, Chicago? What's going down in this bitch? Mr. DJ, that's my song too. That's play the song again for no reason. Let me see it.
Pause it right there. That's really, at this point, there's no stealing at all. And I'll tell you why. Especially in the Def Jam era of Def Comedy Jam and stuff, it was very common for comedians to intro on music and have the DJ stop the music and then play it back and then play it over again. I even had Daniel Dugar. I used to make his tapes for him, and he would have a whole mix. I would have to make a whole mix for him to do his intro. But the thing, and sometimes they would even do it in the middle of their set. That's what a comedian's performance was called. It was called a set. And basically what you're seeing is a run-of-the-mill, non-different set. This is not stealing right here. This is what a lot of comedians have been doing. If it's stealing, there's been a whole lot of stealing going on then. That's basically what's going down. Let me play a little bit more.
Shit! Cut it off. That's my shit. That's any that hustle. That's our national anthem right there. Even if your job don't even require no hustling. Even if you're a librarian. Just play that shit at the library. See how that shit feel. You just in the library.
Okay. It's like this. It's the format. I can understand the argument of this of them thinking it's stealing. It's a similar format, but it's not the same. It's a similar format, but it's not the same. It's not the same as what. Okay. It's not the same as what Cedrick was doing. Cedrick was literally interpreting Katt's skit, the whole skit. The problem with this is that most comedians do this. So who's really stealing? Now, I'm not saying that J.B. Smoove was not the innovator. He might have been the innovator, right? He might have been the innovator, but still, this is a totally different skit. Okay, okay, let's say this. I'm going to keep playing a little bit more, and I'll play this. If he starts talking about how, somebody could dance to this like this, or somebody could, and actually literally takes theme parts from J.B. Smoove's, then maybe I'll sway. But it's like Mel says, that's not the same to me. Comedic act can and have a certain intro song. Correct. He admitted that he was in love with the song and was praising the song. Correct. This is standard. Loving the song and wanting to jam to it. I've had comedians where they would literally dance. They would literally dance and say, "This is what we used to do back in the blah 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 days," and this is what you call when you see at the club and stuff. This is standard. Black comedian, not all comedians, but mostly black comedian. This is standard operating procedure right here. Let me keep it going.
Shit, turn it off, sir. Don't play it again. I'm just saying that's the shit. I'm saying if you went to heaven and they was playing that song, you know it's finna be a party in heaven. You just walk in heaven.
Oh, that one caught me off guard. Oh, that was
Stop it, sir. Don't play it again, I said. I'm saying that's my shit. I'm just saying if you went to the grocery store and they was playing that song, you buy everything in that bitch. You know you ain't got but $78. You just in that motherfucker. Stop, sir.
This is how you know it's not. This is how you know it's not the same. The experience of both jokes are completely different. If you saw J.B. Smoove's joke, right, and then you saw Katt Williams' joke right after it, like Katt Williams came on stage right after J.B. Smoove, you still would be laughing. You wouldn't be bored because you would know that the performance is completely different. You know. Oh, man. I swear. But if you notice, man, I mean, the experience is completely different. The laugh is different. That's what we call it. The laugh, the joke is different. I do understand it's a similar, just because they're both playing music and they're both saying that's the shit. But other than that, they're completely different experience, in my opinion. You know, man, let me play a little bit more of this. Man, that was funny. Bridget's in the house. Go Glow's in the house. Mistress Newbie's in the house. Mello's in the house.
Play it again. Just saying that's my shit.
Classic, man.
Just saying, fellas, if your relationship ain't working right, stop fucking your woman to slow songs. Fucking to some gangster shit. Just as soon as she walk in, just
every day I'm hustling.
She could be like this. I gotta go to work in the morning.
Oh man!
So I asked you not to play the song again, Devin.
Yeah, let me stop. I could do this all night right here. I could play this all night. You see the point. The point is that you see the difference between the two scenarios. Okay, you see the difference. One is like literally if you play again, if you were to play Cedrick's skit right behind Katt's skit, you would kind of feel bored because it's like, okay, we've seen this before. We've seen the steering wheel. We've seen the only difference is a spaceship. But these are two completely different. Yeah, these are two completely different animals when it comes to the joke. Again, I'm a joke expert. I'm a terrible comedian, but I'm a joke expert. So these are not anywhere. They're similar in genre of jokes. If you want to call a joke a genre, you could say they're in the similar genre. But the format, the structure of the jokes are completely different. And again, it's too hard. I know I can count at least 20 comedians I know or knew because it's been so long. Back in the day, he used this format. It is a common format to hit the stage with music. It is a thing that comedians use as a weapon because it gets the crowd hype. You're not having to deal with just a dry mic and having to make them laugh out the gate and worry about it. There was only one comedian I know that was so funny. Rest his soul. His name was Dijon. And oh my God. Oh, he had kind of like a relaxed delivery and was funny as, let's put it this way, if Dijon was still here today, he was so funny. I would say that I kid you not, he'd probably be competing with the likes of Chris Rock. I kid you not, he was that funny. He had this chill, relaxed, kind of like he would mumble out this. It wasn't mumble because he could speak extremely clear, but he was kind of like whispering out these things, and you would just hear him say something, whisper out this thing, and the whole room would just start laughing. It was, oh man. I would forget to play the music at the end. He had me laughing so hard. So anyway, let me go on to the next situation. Now, here's Mark Curry confronting Steve Harvey.
For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson. Well, it looks like Katt Williams' viral interview on Club Shay Shay still has everyone talking, and we're still dealing with the after effects. Ever since Katt publicly accused Cedrick the Entertainer of stealing one of his jokes and using it for the original Kings of Comedy, fans online have took it upon themselves to see if Katt's accusations has any merit. Not only that, but fans are digging up even more footage of comedians telling similar stories on the jokes that were stolen from them. One video that has begun to resurface comes from the Mike and Donnie show back in 2019. It features comedian Mark Curry publicly accusing Steve Harvey of stealing one of his jokes. During that same interview, Curry would admit that he confronted Harvey about stealing his material at the Def Jam 25th reunion back in 2017. One user on TikTok, It's the Shark, shared a clip from the Def Jam 25 Netflix special. The clip comes from the end of the special where all the comedians were invited on stage. There, Curry can be seen talking to Steve Harvey.
You see that? You see him in the back? Right here? So basically, like I was saying before, joke, there's nothing that Mark can do. I think you can copyright a joke. No, I know you can. So basically, that's Mark, we're sorry. Mark, we're sorry that it went like that. It went down like that. Let's see what they say right here.
About Steve Harvey stealing his material.
Well, Steve stole my material on his show, so I had a beef on that. He did all my Halloween material one Halloween. I'm watching that, and I know he didn't think of it. You know, this is true stuff that really happened to me. And so my thing is, you don't have to do that, homeboy. Right. So, you know, you made enough money, bitch ass. You know, what? Why are you on my material? Right. You know, what's that about?
The new video evidence has given fans more reasons to support Katt and Mark Curry after the two have just shared that they'll be going on tour together. Curry is usually active on his social media, and in addition to announcing his tour dates with Katt, he would share a video that some would assume could be a subliminal response to Harvey. Earlier last week, Curry would post,
We're so addicted to coffee. We first get our coffee, we sit down there. Good. We like our coffee, don't we? Just love our coffee. We go crazy over coffee. Isn't that crazy? As soon as you get that coffee, you like you just sit here all by yourself. Remember, you used to want to talk to people. Now with your coffee, you don't need nobody. You got my friend here. I don't need nobody.
All right. So let's go over some joke stealing right now.
For Comedy Hype News, I'm K-Rock. There's a famous saying that goes, good artists copy, great artists steal. So we at Comedy Hype did some research to see if there's any truth to the saying. And we've compiled a list of the times comedians told jokes that were similar to each other's. First, we start with Marlon Wayans, who would get called out by Vulture magazine. In January 2016, Marlon Wayans said on an appearance on The Tonight Show, I got white friends. I think you need them, especially for when the cops pull you over. When the cops pull you over, please let your white friends do the talking. This joke was very similar to the one Dave Chappelle did in his first hour HBO special, Killing Me Softly.
Every group of brothers should have at least one white guy in it. I'm serious, for safety. Because when the shit goes down, somebody's gonna need to talk to the police.
Another moment will be put out in the open in 2019 during an episode of the Mike and Donnie Show. Mark Curry would claim that Steve Harvey stole his comedy routine.
Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us.
Every Halloween, I had the same outfit on. Every year. I just had a brown box.
We didn't know what we were.
I don't know what we are. I don't know. She didn't tell her. Asked my father, could I have a new outfit? And he said, no, just wear the same one. And it was just a brown box.
I think we UPS, I guess. I don't know.
And he just told me to tell everybody I was the UPS man.
Steve stole my material on his show, so I had beef on that. When he was on that bullshit talk show that he did all of my Halloween material. Kerr revealed that someone informed him about Harvey's alleged comedy plagiarism. He would go and tell the viewers that it was stolen because the event had actually happened to him. Now, in recent years, things would get interesting for Amy Schumer when she would get called out for stealing jokes from the late comedian Patrice O'Neal.
Okay. Why seeking knowledge? Wow, Katt opened a Pandora's box. Yes, he sure did. Right now, there are a whole lot of comedians running to the copyright board. I can tell you that.
Backstory is that Amy was once O'Neal's opener, and after his passing, she allegedly would go on to use one of his bits. The joke in question will be O'Neal's description of a sex act called a poltergeist.
You have a poltergeister? Poltergeist is good.
The worst one I've ever heard is the Houdini.
Well, you need your friend though, right? Like you're fucking him from behind, and then you sneak out, and he takes your place.
Which is where the guy's having sex with the girl from behind. Then unbeknownst to her, his friend subs in for him.
And then you walk outside.
Exactly, Bridget. Everybody's exposed one way or another.
And wave at her through the window.
Guy number one runs outside, knocks on the window, waves to the girl.
In the 80s, the late Robin Williams would find himself in joke-stealing allegations. The rumor was he would use other comedians' material on the Johnny Carson Tonight Show and his television series Mork and Mindy.
Oh, let me tell you this story. I remember this time when you talk about stealing material. Get this. A new club had opened up down in Oakland off of Grand Avenue. Not too far from another club I was DJing at, which was called, what was it called? Damn, it'll come to my mind. But E40 used to hang out there. He was good friends with the owners. Sweet Jimmy's, that's it. So anyway, around the corner was another club, and I went in there and said, "Hey, I was kind of hot at the time, and I was doing different clubs everywhere. So I said, let me drop off a demo CD, right? So I dropped off a demo CD, and they said, okay, we'll listen to it and see what happens. Because back then, you didn't have a. I guess you could have a website, but website weren't big at the time. So anyway, later on I called in and said, what's up? You guys need me to come in and DJ or what? They were like, no, that's cool. We got our DJs, right? So I'm like, okay, hey, they didn't like my spin. That's all right. Onward and upward, right? But I went in there one night because a friend of mine she was in town. She wanted to check out some spots. And I said, it was a nice spot. And it's no sore feelings. I went in there. Do you know they were playing my CD? They were playing my shit. They were playing my whole mix. It was a 30-minute CD. It was 15 minutes into CD. That's just how it goes. That's how it goes, folks. Let me keep playing.
John Witherspoon would confirm the rumor during an interview in 2015.
He was saying, man, but I wanted to know, is it true that Robin Williams was known in the comedy world as a comedian that would go around and steal other comics material?
Well, he did that. He had a bad rap on him about that, man. And I have to admit it, he did. It's not good to talk about the dead, but yeah, he would take somebody's people material. And he would have people, he would have his lawyer come in there when he
okay, Quita.
come back to the comic store and give everybody a check that he stole the materials. If you prove that he had stolen the material, and he was stealing stuff every week when he was on Mork and Mindy. So yep. But you didn't get that from me.
Comedian Joe Rogan was banned from his home club.
Okay, that's that. But yeah, you can see, joke stealing was big back in the day. It just was. It's just like comedians got to eat, and I'm telling you, The Sound of Silence is a wonderful song for a song, but you don't, as a comedian, want to hear that shit. You don't want to tell a punchline and it just be at best mumbles. You will tell somebody else's joke. You will do it if it needs to get you through the night and get you paid. That's just basically how it was back in the day. I'm glad I could bring at least my observation and my angle on this situation with Katt. Believe it or not, we're probably going to have another one. There's so many. The thing about this live stream that they did, that Katt and Shay did, was that they went over so many different aspects that It's going to be around for a minute. It's a great teaching tool. It's a great teaching tool for everyone, for the industry of comedy, for the industry of anything, for relationships. And we found out how low down, dirty Kevin Hart is, and believe it or not, I was a huge fan of Kevin. I'm not saying I'm not a fan anymore, but he turned out to be the SBM, same black man. So, you know, anyway, before you guys start joking on me, I'm gonna call it a night. But thank you everyone for coming through. We have more stuff. I mean, me and the crew, we're throwing together some good stuff. We got some good live streams coming up. You got to also check our prior live streams. A lot of them, they might have snuck through the cracks. I heard that YouTube, y'all still cracking up, and y'all still cracking jokes up in there in the chat. I can see that. But you got to check it out. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the way out if you haven't subscribed yet. Don't forget to like. Every time you like, it gets us in the algorithm. When it gets the algorithm, then YouTube pays me. And then when YouTube pays me, then we are able to come out with even better content. And I can spend more time doing this instead of my day job. So anyway, thank you so much, everyone. We'll catch you on the next one. Here we go. In the house. Say what's wrong or right. Why you seeking knowledge? It's not hard to fool me. Mel. And as you see, Mel is correct. Read it. Hit the light. Here we go. Richard Mouton in the house. I follow. You know, whoa. No need to say. Where we are heading now, baby. Why is seeking knowledge? I follow to the edge of it all. Here we go. To the edge of it all. Mistress Newbie. So tell your good night. Cause I'll find no better one. Yeah. Susceptible night. Before the moment flies. So tell you good night. All right, girl. Cause I'll find a better one. Kittens and caskets. Susceptible night. Before the moment flies. 16 Black Tina. It's not a problem. No. Chaos Radio. What I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. Nothing can stop me. No. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. Atlas Uncovered. So tell you good night. Cause I'll find a better one. Gold Reflection. Yeah. Susceptible night. Natural Kiss. Before the moment flies. The Enlightened Femme. So tell you good night. Red Headphones. Cause I'll find a better one. Conscious Mind Love. Thank you, everyone. See you on the next one.